Should. Okay, so we're going to talk about printing, our project 1 in electronic layout class. And so I have mine here. I'm going to hit the W key so I can see my guides and stuff. These are non-printable, but we do have our little fold lines. And as long as we, ooh, those need to be brought to the front. So you might want to bring these to the front so that way we can at least see the little lines. If they're not coming to the front because they're on the master page, I'll also share with you a way to deal with that. So if you can't bring them to the front, no sweat. I'm going to share with you how we can print so that it'll grab some of it. So no big deal. So to print, we're going to go to File and Print. And even though this is a book, we don't go File, Print, Booklet. That's a whole other thing. So File and Print. And we have 2 laser writers that we can print to in our, oh, we got a few things here. I forgot. We have a few options here. Now, we'll be printing in color, so we'll probably want to choose, I don't know why they have so many of these. You can choose laser 1 or laser 2. Those are going to be in room T341. That's what that number is about, 341. That's the open lab down the hall. And then I don't know if it's running. I haven't tested it. Haven't been in this classroom this semester. But in the little room in the corner here, that little door, there's a printer in there that's hooked just up to this room and the room next to it. So that's the 334A printer, and that's that room right there. It has it above the door, 334A. So either way, the setup is the same for any of these printers. So let's say I'm choosing the one in here because I don't want to run all the way down the hallway. Now that's the first thing. Choose the printer. The next thing is to click on, in the left column, second item down, Setup. And your page size is not going to be US letter. It's going to be 11 by 17, but you'll see you won't see 11 by 17 here. We call that tabloid size paper. So you want to click on tabloid when you need to print 11 by 17. And you definitely want, you'll see this preview, the image is not centered to the page. So we definitely want this to be centered. So down near this preview, you'll see page position, thumbnail, and tile. In page position, choose centered. Not center horizontally, not center vertically, but just centered. Now, the next item down in that left column is marks and bleed. You guys definitely want crop marks. Do not turn on bleed marks because as newer designers that will confuse you and you'll be confused as to which ones to use. Crop marks only. And then what we'll do is, even though we set the bleed setting as 1/4 of an inch, we don't necessarily in this case want to use the document bleed setting because we have these little lines outside for folds and we want those are outside the bleed area. So we're going to tell InDesign, the print window, we're going to uncheck use document bleed settings, and we're going to set the bleed at 1 inch, okay? It will print the dotted lines that way. And make sure that you click on the link to make all the settings the same, the little chain. And you'll see pink. That means it's going to print that far out of the cut area. That's pretty cool. So you'll include our little dotted lines. Most of the time we can just use the document settings. We don't have to change this, but since we have something outside the bleed, we're changing it. Now I'm going to double check a couple of things. I'm going to click on page setup. Usually there's not anything we need to change there, but I'm going to make sure it should have the printer type, the same as what our initial window was, and it should have the page size at a tabloid or 11 by 17. So that's okay. I'm going to hit OK. Now, assuming you created more than one page in your InDesign file, we're going to have to turn off two-sided printing, and by default, it's turned on. So that's found under the Printer button, which is the second button in the lower left-hand corner here. It'll give you a warning. Just hit OK. And you will see by default, and this we forget every time, and it's so frustrating, always click on that Printer button and uncheck two-sided. It will it'll just irritate you to death. We can't critique work when it's printed two-sided because we're comparing and contrasting. We may need to see both of those designs at the same time. So you need to print your designs one-sided, not two-sided, on different pieces of paper. Okay? Now, you can change paper type and some other things here, but I don't think we need to do that. That would be through Show Details, and we could go to Xerox Features, and you can change all sorts of things here, but we don't need to. We're going to print on just regular standard paper. But if you were printing on a heavier cardstock, these are the places that we would go for that. So we really didn't need to change anything there right now. If I hit print, it's the same thing as essentially as hitting OK. And now if I hit print in this dialog box, it will process. It will ask me to pay for it. Don't worry about this publish online. I'm not sure what that's about. And then we'll get a pay for print thing that comes up. And 11 by 17, I believe color is maybe 45 cents. It charges me 0. I'm sorry, it doesn't charge you 0. So I'm not sure what it's charging, but I think it's about 45 cents. I hit yes. The bad thing is we'll hit print and we'll walk away. We'll hit print, okay, go, and nothing comes because you forgot to pay for your printing. So now I'm going to walk away and I'm going to go to the middle room and that print should come out. So I'm going to stop the video.
So how do we move our marks if they're on the